What's going on, guys? Halftime live here for the Eagles Cowboys Monday Night Football game. Alongside Mark Rogers, I'm Connor Gabe. Breaking down a dreadful first half here for the Philadelphia Eagles. They are now down 20-7 at halftime in Dallas. Just not the start that the Eagles have wanted so far. It's been a mess offensively. It's been a mess defensively, and we're here to break it down. See where the Eagles go from here and see if they can fight and try and get back into this game in the second half. Mark, just a lot of things stuck out. I obviously wrote some stuff down that, stood out to me during the first half, but really what stood out to you during this game?
Yeah, I mean, it was it's kind of the opposite of what we predicted. I mean, just starting off with Zeke Elliott and his rushing attempts and the, the volume he's getting, coming into a division game at home. You think he'd be fired up. As we predicted, the carries would be more split. Pollard obviously getting a lot of touches on that second drive. But other than that, it's really been Zeke Elliott, and it's really been a mystery of the Eagles' defense to really stop him and slow him down. Really just been running it right up the middle. Other than that, I mean, the defense, Gannon came in here. He didn't want to get thrown over the top, and the first two touchdowns were right over the top to Lamb and Blake Jarwin. So, it's a lot of obvious stuff that the Eagles need to clean up, but it seems like it's just impossible at this point to really slow down Elliott and this mad passing attack. Real quick, just before I throw it over to you, I mean, the offense has not looked great. That one run by Miles Sanders has really been the only outlier. But I think they need to get to the running game here. It's only a 13-point game, so they're still very much in this.
And they get ball for the second half.
And they do get ball first at the second half. So if they can really establish the run here, get out, eat some clock, and get a touchdown, I think they still have an opportunity. But then again, you have to really figure out how to slow Zeke down and this offense with this crazy passing attack as well.
Yeah, so it all started because Dallas started with the ball, obviously, because the Eagles getting started in the second half. But it really started with Dallas and running the football. They've done a great job to set the pace and set the tone. I believe the last time I checked, it's I don't know how much time the Eagles got at the end of the first half, but it's like maybe 20 minutes to 6 minutes of time possession. Dallas has just controlled the ball the whole game. It's really started with the running game. Their offensive line has found a lot of holes for Elliott, and not only Elliott, but Tony Pollard as well in that first half. And it's led to a successful, first half for the Dallas offense. When they run the football, Dak Prescott looks a lot better. Let me look. Hurts a bad interception on the first drive. It was a deep streak down to Jalen Reagor. He underthrew it. He's underthrown balls constantly throughout first three games, and it was evident there. It led to his first turnover of the season, and it was just a bad throw. That really set up, obviously, at the one, the Javon Hargrave. He's really the only bright spot of this game so far. Javon Hargrave, and not only this game, but this whole season, but how consistently he gets to the quarterback, creates pressure up the middle. It led to the touchdown the Eagles got. Fletcher Cox basically got it off some type of interception there in the end zone. The only points that they scored all the first half. Also, Kayvon Wallace, he got injured in the first half. I believe he has a shoulder injury. He's questionable to return. Listen, it really just starts with Dallas, and they've been running the football really well. Jonathan Gannon has done a very poor job of being able to adjust to really just they've been gashing through the run defense, and then they've been playing a whole lot of zone, and they just been running free. A lot of Dalton Schultz in the first half. CeeDee Lamb had a big touchdown, or not big touchdown, it was like a 44-yard grab down in the middle of the field in the first drive. Just a lot of running, a lot of Cowboys running open, in the first half, and they're gonna have to probably blitz a little bit more. They've not been blitzing a whole lot to start this season, and they have to run a little bit more man too. Because really, just Dak is sitting back in the pocket, and it just has way too much pressure up the middle. Way too much pressure, or not enough pressure by the Eagles defense to really cause any turnovers or cause any momentum to stop them and get 3 and out. So a lot of first downs for the Dallas offense in the first half. Also, third and short, it's still been a problem for the Eagles offense. We've seen a lot of drives stall out and not go anywhere because on third and shorts, they just have not been, physical enough up front, or not really a lot of good play calling by Nick Sirianni. Mm-hmm. So it's just been an ugly first half by the Eagles. Like we said, they're still in it. I don't have a lot of confidence in this offense right now, nor should a whole lot of Eagles fans. But just really just a disastrous, and they're gonna have to go into the locker room and really figure this out. And it's not a lot of Eagle fans are happy in the Delaware Valley right now.
Yeah, not a lot are happy, and again, I don't want to say is to be expected, but is to be expected in a sense of, you're coming into a really hostile environment in Dallas. A lot of talk has been surrounded, and I know they brought this, up on the broadcast multiple times tonight, but, a lot of, talk has been geared towards, Zeke Elliott not looking like the player he once was. We were even saying on the pregame, and honestly, he's been the X factor in this game. They give him the ball, and it's nothing but positive yards. So, in a sense, I am frustrated. On the other hand, I think if the Eagles can come out here, establish the run game again, get Miles Sanders a few touches, let him get going a little bit, take the pressure so much off of Jalen Hurts. Obviously, his throws have not been great. We talked about that one interception he threw, the third downs that you were talking about. He threw that behind Goddard. I think if you, again, give it to Sanders, take some of the pressure off, establish a time of possession here in the third quarter and work from there. You claw your way back here, 6 points. Then you can really come to the drawing board against this offense for their first drive of the half, and hopefully got to stop there. So, again, it's a lot of ifs, but I think this Eagles team is capable of making this a game. Again, we saw them in week 1 and how good they played. Again, they were playing the Falcons. But if you can establish this run game, I think if you can narrow this down to a 6-point margin, you can put some pressure on the Cowboys the other way. And they haven't really been under any pressure at all tonight. So that will be interesting to see if they do get scored on here on the first drive coming out of the half.
Yeah, we'll see. If anybody's listening, you can put in the chat any questions or any comments about the first half. But before we get into any more discussion, tweet by Dave Zagaro from AC Sports Philadelphia. First half stats are not pretty. First downs, the Cowboys have 19. The Eagles have 3. Total yards, the Cowboys have 261. The Eagles have 121. Time of possession, the Cowboys, like I said, have 20 minutes of time possession. The Eagles got a little bit in the end of the first half, but they have 9 minutes and 39 seconds. Basically double the Cowboys. And at third downs, the Cowboys are 4 for 6, and the Eagles on third down, which has been a huge issue for the Eagles so far this season. They're 0 for 4 on third down. It really is. I mean, listen, we knew this team wasn't going to be great coming into this season. Now it's going to be an issue, with the rebuild and a lot of people being able to adjust what, this team could be. I know a lot of people got excited seeing how dominant they were against the Atlanta Falcons in week 1, but listen, it's a tough pill to swallow to see your team even go through a rebuild, go down to Dallas and get their ass kicked on Monday Night Football on national TV. It's not a good look, obviously, for the organization. I'm sure Larry's not happy or Howie Rose was not happy, but I understand it's a rebuild and we're seeing what kind of young players they have and trying to develop. But like I said, it's not a good look to go down to Dallas and just get your ass kicked on Monday Night Football.
I totally agree. This is not, what we want, and totally, not what we expected. We thought it'd be a little closer, but again, they can go in here in the locker room, go in the second half, adjust a little bit, and that's the biggest thing. I really think the biggest thing that we got to look for here in the second half is how do they adjust and how do they come out and really react to this onslaught of Zeke Elliott's runs in the first half. And it's really going to be dictated by that first drive they have in the second half. And again, I think it all starts with the run game. Like I said, one of my big keys to this game was a balanced pass and run attack. Yeah. Obviously, they haven't really had much time on offense, but it's been really, dominated by the pass rather than the run. So I'm interested to see how they get that going. I see Ryan Ellis, here, and I think this is an interesting question.
It is.
Thoughts on Dickerson and Dillard, and I'll go first and then throw it over to you. But obviously Dickerson had that one blown assignment, that really blatant one where, Hurts got sacked there. Other than that, I mean, it's his first start. So
he also had one on. They ran some type of pull option, and Dickerson went to go block Micah Parsons.
That's right
over. So
right on the guard position.
So it's been a bad first half for Dickerson, and listen, the problem is with Dickerson is he didn't have any training camp, which is a huge blow. I think not having any reps in training camp and not being able to set in. Plus, more naturally, I believe, is the center. But listen, it's not been good for Dickerson, and it really has looked bad. But on the Dillard front, I actually think Dillard's been pretty good so far. I haven't really heard his name a whole lot, which is a pretty good thing.
Yeah, that's normally a good thing when you're on the O-line if you don't hear it a lot. But again, he hasn't really, for the offensive line as a whole, for the offense as a whole, haven't really had too much time out there to really, establish really any type of rhythm or anything at all. I did like that hole that was created, obviously, for Miles Sanders on that one big run he ripped off. And again, I'm just going to keep saying, if they can really establish this running game here early in the second half, put some pressure on this Dallas team and put them up against the wall at a 2014, lead. I think that the Eagles can move in here slowly. So I definitely don't think it's over. Very disappointing what we saw from the first half. Honestly, really can't get any worse. But it really goes to show how important, time of possession here plays a factor, especially with how good Zeke's running the ball.
Yeah, it's not been a good. It's hard to come up here on a live and break down. It's just a dreadful Eagles first half. Probably their worst half of football all season. It's been really bad. And we'll see what happens. They definitely have to make some adjustments. And really this first drive is going to dictate whether or not they stay in the football game or not. I mean, they need to go out here and it's 20-7, so they realistically need a touchdown here, which there's not a lot of evidence to suggest that they're going to go out and score. I mean, they got no points from the offense in the first half, so. Not a lot of evidence to suggest that, but we'll figure that out and see what happens. But listen, before we go, we'll give some grades. I mean, Eagles offense, I'll give them an F. There's not a lot of 0-4 and third down, no points scored by them. Just waited too long to get the running game going. I thought that should have been something they would have went after right at in the first drive. They didn't really do it. And then I'll give the Eagles defense. I'll give them a D. Even though they played awful, they did get that strip sack and get it and get points for them. So, listen, their defense is getting shredded on the ground, and the zone is just not holding up. So it's just there's not a lot of positives you can look at. Maybe Javon Hargrave's been a positive; he's been had a really good game, and other than that, man, it's just not really good. They're just getting their ass kicked. So
yeah, I mean, again, I'm gonna have to follow, probably right around there. I'm gonna give the offense a D here. Again, just not a lot of opportunity. I think with more opportunity, though, will come more production. I believe they only ran, I want to say 11 plays in the first half, 11 offensive plays.
They really?
So I think if they, I believe I think it was around there. May have been a little higher, but not much more than that at all. And on the other side, again, the offense, D, and the defense, I'd probably give it a D plus. Only because of that strip sack. And really, if they don't have any points here, we're not really talking about anything. A 20-0 deficit going to half would, be pretty unbearable against this really, really high-powered run game for Dallas. So
the Eagles have, and this is another bad stat, the Eagles have had 7 penalties tonight. That is 29 on the season. They'll lead the NFL. They already lead the NFL, and they didn't even finish the game tonight, which is pretty awful. They have more penalties through 3 games. They have more penalties through 3 games just once in their existence. Back in 1954, they had 33 through 3 games. So basically,
the O-line took 8 on week 1. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So it's trending that this team will have the most penalties through 3 weeks in Eagles history, and that was another big thing with under Doug Peterson. And that second half's going to start. So we're going to end it with this. We'll see what happens. Eagles first drive here. Stick with us though. Post game live, we'll be reacting to the Eagles and Cowboys 27. We'll see how it goes, but post game live coming up after the game. So we'll see you guys.